So last month I received an exciting inquiry that's about to take us on a 3-part series where I'm going to be sharing my entire brand identity process from start to finish. Introducing Open Mouth, a student burger and cocktail bar which is set to shake up Manchester's dining scene. So during this 3-part series I'll break down my entire design process from client inquiry to building the brand guidelines from scratch. So how did the client discover me? Well, over on Instagram and TikTok I make sure to post a video every single day. Over the last 8 months I've turned my social media into quite a powerful lead magnet. Posting daily draws around 2 to 4 million views per month, and since March it's gained over 200,000 followers. As you can imagine, this leads to a good amount of emails requesting design work, giving me the opportunity to carefully select the most promising projects. So after receiving the initial inquiry, I arranged an introduction call. This face-to-face interaction, even if it's virtual, is essential for building trust and creating a strong relationship with a client. After a successful call, the next step is to send the client a questionnaire designed to dive deep into the client's needs and expectations. If you head over to jackwatsondesigns.com, I've made this questionnaire available for free as a thanks for watching this video. The aim of the questionnaire is to get a deep understanding of the brand, covering areas such as brand vision, target audience, brand personality, design preferences, deliverables, and so on. So today's December the 1st, and the clients finally got back to us with all the details we need, along with a 50% deposit, which is very important to get before you start working. So this means it's finally time to jump into the brand identity and bring the brand to life. The clients made it clear that Open Mouth is more than just a burger and cocktail bar. It's a vibrant destination primarily catering to the 18 to 30 age group. Their goal is to make Open Mouth the go-to spot for young adults, and our challenge is to create a brand identity that mirrors its fun, vibrant and music-infused atmosphere. So what deliverables are involved in the project? First we have the logo. The logo is the face of the brand. It needs to be dynamic, adaptable and embody the essence of Open Mouth. Next we have colour. Colour influences mood, so we'll select a vibrant colour palette that's eye-catching and portrays energy and excitement. Typography. Typography is crucial for readability, but more importantly, personality. We're going to pick some fonts that are easy on the eyes, but also come across as fun and friendly. Illustrations. So this is where we can get really creative. Now, Open Mouth has asked us to design not just their brand identity, but also catchy names and designs for their signature burgers and cocktails. They've also added that they want some general illustrations which can be used in social media and marketing materials. The menu. Now we've been told that Open Mouth has a very limited menu with just 4 burgers and 4 cocktails. Now this gives us creativity when designing them, and I have a really cool idea, so look out for this in part 2 where you'll see what I have planned. And finally we have the brand guidelines. Now consistency is key, so in part 3 we'll develop a brand guidelines from scratch covering logo usage, colour palette, typography and more. So now that we're happy with that, let's jump into the design process, starting with one of my favourite and most effective techniques. Mind mapping. Now this approach has stayed with me since my early school days. The mind map acts as the foundation in which the entire design concept is built. It's a technique that's proven its worth time and time again, allowing me to create designs that are not only aesthetically pleasing but also deeply rooted in the brand's identity. After laying the groundwork with the mind map, I move on to the next crucial phase, creating the mood board. We're now jumping into the mood board phase, and I'm going to do a live run through here. So on the left side I've got my mood board template, which you can find at jackwatsondesigns.com, and then on the right here I've got Pinterest open. Now the aim of this is to show an idea to the client of the style you're going to go for, typography you might choose and the colours, just so that they can approve that, and then you can jump onto the sketching phase. So on the right here is an image that I like. I'm just going to show you how this template works. Right clicking on the image that I like, I'm going to copy the image, and then heading over here I'm going to go to my layers, make sure that I'm on the insert photo section and click Command and V. Now I'm going to drag this photo behind the block. So about there's lined up with this block. So I'm just going to hold Shift down and click the block. Now go to Object, Clipping Mask and Make. Cool. The next steps is to complete the mood board, add all the images and colour references. And as you can see on the right here, we're going to be explaining our mood board choices just so the client knows exactly why we picked the things we've picked. So yeah, I'll be back when this is done. Here's the example of the finished mood board. We've gone for quite a fun, youthful vibe. So I'm just going to leave this on screen for a second here, just so you can have a quick look at the notes that I've put down and how I've described the colour, typography and design style. Now, if you want to get this template, like I said, it's available on jackwatsondesigns.com. We'll put a discount code on the screen for the first 4 days of this video going live. So go and check that out. The next stage is to wait for the client to approve the mood board. Now, I'm pretty sure they're going to be happy with this. On my introduction call with them, I've got a good grasp of what they're after, so hopefully we'll be able to get this approved soon, and then we'll jump into the sketching phase. If you've watched my first video on this channel, you know that my process consists of sketching 10 to 20 initial concepts. Now, this stage is all about exploration and experimentation. Each sketch represents a completely different idea, which by no means has to be perfect. It's a process of discovery where unexpected designs can often emerge as the front runners. So the client reviewed the mood board and they were very happy with it. I went away and did some sketches, and this is the final sketch that we're going with. What I'm going to be doing is in line with my first YouTube video that I made. I'm going to be using the pencil tool to create this mouth, and then I'm going to go onto Envato Elements or Adobe fonts to find a font that suits it, and I'm going to adjust it with the direct selection tool by creating outlines. So if you want to see a detailed process, check that video. I'll pop it up on the screen now. I'll be back when I've finished the mouth. So the mouth is looking good so far, but I need to add a bit more of a natural look to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the width tool, and I'm just going to drag out these areas on the top and make the inside slightly thinner. So I'm gonna mess around with this now for a bit, and I'll be back when I've got my finished piece. So it's looking good at the moment. I'm very happy with it. So the next job now is to find a font on Envato Elements or an Adobe font. So I'll let you know when I've got a good font. Hopefully it's not gonna take a while. I will show you what we've come back with. Okay, so it took a bit longer than expected. However, I'm really happy with the font that we've come out with. This is called Below Grayson, and I believe I found it on Envato Elements. And what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna click Command-Shift-O. Now I'll ungroup it, and then the next step is to customize these points in line with the sketch. As you can see here with the P and the E, the P goes above the E. I just need to play around with it all. I'm not going to actually do this live because it's going to take me a while. I'll come back once I've got the final result, but again, if you want to click my first video on YouTube, you'll see the process behind making the logo. If creating a logo is something that you'd like to see in detail, then I can always make that another video, so drop that in the comments if that's something you'd like to see. After a while, we finally got our final logo, and I'm really happy with it. It looks really good, obviously miles better than the dodgy sketch over here, so I think the client's going to love it. I've suggested to make this mouth an illustration, and I'll be covering that process in part 2. So in this video, you've seen the logo evolve from a concept to a vector illustration, but there's plenty more to come. In the next video, I'll break down my illustration process for the project, showing you exactly how I create all the assets. We'll explore color schemes, typography, menu designs, and the marketing materials that tie everything together. And then make sure you stay tuned for part 3, because that's where we're going to be building the brand guidelines from scratch. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.